Good afternoon, people. Welcome to PWOLIIS. Please confirm whether the audio and video is clear. Public Administration optional for UPSC. Good afternoon, Abhinav. So once again, people, this is my Telegram channel. You can contact me here for any queries as well as to send in your answers which you have, which needs evaluation. Good afternoon, Lipika, Akriti, Dhrutilada, Nadeem. All right. So in the last class, we had just started off with the introduction और वुड्रो विल्सन के बारे में हमने बस शुरुआत की थी कि इंट्रोडक्शन यानी कि पबैट क्या है, पबैट क्या होना चाहिए, पबैट का डेफिनेशन, और हमने ये साबित कर लिया था कि टू डिफाइन पबैट इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट, क्योंकि ना सिर्फ उसके अंदर यू हैव लेजिस्लेचर, एक्सिक्यूटिव, जुडिशियरी, you have private firms, you have civil society organizations, you have NGOs, you have foreign players, everybody are involved there. So anything that will affect the public life, anything where it involves delivering goods and services to the public, all of that is what public administration. This is our understanding as of now. उसके बाद जैसे मैंने कहा, we are going to visit the thinkers. Thinkers क्यों? Because इनके थ्रू ही the सब्जेक्ट और डिसिप्लिन ऑफ पबैट इवॉल्व करके करके आज इस मकाम पर पहुंचा है. दैट इज व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू सी. वी स्टार्टेड ऑफ विद वुड्रो विल्सन. वुड्रो विल्सन जिन्हें मानता जाता है कि ही इज द फादर ऑफ और द फाउंडर ऑफ पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन बिकॉज ऑफ हिज एसे व्हिच ही रोट इन 1887. व्हाट इज द रीजन फॉर दैट? क्योंकि उस जमाने में किसी ने भी एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के ऊपर ध्यान नहीं दिया था. नोबडी पेड एनी अटेंशन टू एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. Everybody were only thinking how to make the policy, how to write the constitution, how to make the rule, etc. जहां तक execution या implementation का सवाल है, nobody thought about it. Woodrow Wilson was the very first person who actually told, let us focus on the administration. Administration जो है मामूली काम नहीं है. You need talented people that is selected through meritorious process. Appointments nahi. Now this is important. This sentence of Woodrow Wilson, can anybody tell me the importance of that sentence? That is, the importance of that sentence, that is, we shouldn't be going for spoil system. Spoil system band karo, and we should be going for merit. Can you give me at least two examples from the current affairs which proves that ये स्टेटमेंट ऑफ वुड्रो विल्सन यानी कि स्पॉइल सिस्टम के पीछे मत जाओ, मेरिट के बेसिस पर लोगों को चुनो. कैन यू गिव मी टू एग्जांपल्स फ्रॉम द करंट अफेयर्स इन द रीसेंट टाइम्स which came in the newspaper? Two examples. I need two. Very recently it had happened. I'll give you a clue. It had happened in the state of UP. Bollywood. For the love of God, don't mention Bollywood and all. We are talking about optional exams here, people. Optional examples, when I say, it is examples which you can write. Pooja IAS, no. Ayodhya election. What? हो क्या रहा है इस देश में? In UP, basically, in the UP PSC exams, when they found out the people who are appointed to various posts in UP, जिन जिन कुछ एग्जाम्स कंडक्ट किए थे यूपी पीएससी ने, तो इन दैट यूपी पीएससी सिलेक्शन most of the jobs were given to whom? Were given to people who were families or relatives of officers who conducted exam. Supreme Court had to intervene and cancel all that. See, okay, this is the next thing. I think all of you have got the wrong idea here. I clearly told you two things here. First thing, what is spoil system? Spoil system means politically you are making appointments based on favoritism या फिर nepotism in where? In civil services. This is the question. So basically spoil system आज के तारीख पर नहीं चाहिए. वी नीड मेरिट सिस्टम. इस चीज से जुड़े हुए दो एग्जाम्पल कहने के लिए बोला था आपसे. सो यू हैव गिवन मी एग्जाम्पल्स, एवरीथिंग, all the examples you have given which has got nothing to do with this. Always understand the question first and answer according to the question. Number one. Number two, this is the first thing, that is in UP basically. See, Ashish, I understand, but again, Chhattisgarh state PCS scam, that is different. Here, what I was basically hinting at is in UP basically a few posts, government posts, it was found that जो लोग एग्जाम कंडक्ट किए, दैट इज इफ आई एम अ सीनियर ऑफिसर इन द गवर्नमेंट, इन यूपी गवर्नमेंट, आई एम इंचार्ज, आई एम द इन्विजिलेटर देयर और आई एम कंडक्टिंग द एग्जाम देयर, मेरे ही रिश्तेदार को जो एग्जाम मैंने कंडक्ट किया उसी एग्जाम के पोस्टिंग भी उसे ही मिला है. दैट इज द पॉइंट. मेरे रिश्तेदार को ही पोस्टिंग मिल गया है. जिन लोगों ने मेरिट के बेसिस पर एग्जाम लिखा है उन्हें नहीं मिला. दैट इज व्हाट यू कॉल स्पॉइल सिस्टम, nepotism in civil services. Number two, the second thing is, again, Supreme Court clearly told no political appointments in tribunals. Tribunals is just like a court. Is just like a court constructed for a specific purpose. जैसे कि you have Central Administrative Tribunal, CAT. What is Central Administrative Tribunal? Appointment of governor comes under spoil system. Absolutely not. See, sometimes it can be political, but there again, governor's post is not something which is, it is a constitutional post. It is not directly to deal with administration. It is only a constitutional head. We are talking only about spoil system in administration, civil services. Understand that. Don't start linking spoil system with everything now. No. I am only talking about spoil system in civil services. Coming back. So Central Administrative Tribunal means what our central government employees से जुड़े हुए, उनके promotion हो, transfer हो, any issues that they are having, those cases are dealt by Central Administrative Tribunal. Similarly, National Green Tribunal, NGT. What is this for? Basically to deal with environment matters. So normal courts, if it will deal with criminal cases, civil cases, etc., tribunals will be dealing only with one case, one particular topic only. So, Supreme Court found that in most of these tribunals, rather than putting experts there, government is appointing, the appointments whoever are happening there, they are mostly political appointments. So, Supreme Court told no more political appointments in tribunals. That means what Woodrow Wilson said in 1887 is relevant even today. Spoil system should not be entertained in civil services or in courts. You need people there based on merit and merit alone. That is the point. तो अंडरस्टैंड दिस 1887 में जो चीज कहा गया था, आई हैव लिंक्ड इट विथ two examples from the current time, from the current affairs. This is the way you have to write. Unka, so there are many things that he told. So we'll see which point is still relevant today, which point is not. If it is relevant, we will give example. If it is not relevant, we will clearly tell why, what is the reason for it. वजह क्या है कि उनके कुछ points आज relevant है, उनका examples दिया जाएगा. जो point relevant नहीं है, उसका वजह क्या है, वो भी हम बताएंगे. This is the process for all the thinkers. What points are relevant? What points are irrelevant? What is the reason for both? Finished. This is what we will be doing throughout most of our paper 1. All right, people. Any questions so far? So continuing with Woodrow Wilson. Is a founder of public administration in the USA. 1887 he gave study of administration. His essay marked the beginning of public administration as a subject of public inquiry. Study of administration is necessary to correct the political abuses of the spoil system. Durtilada, that is a later topic. We will see it later. Wilson thought about the assimilation of European administrative system into American democratic polity. मतलब European administrative system का ideas, let us try to bring it into American democratic polity. क्यों? The reason is, this is again, understand, year is 1887. उस दौरान यूरोप वॉज अंडर, लार्जली इट वॉज अंडर किंग्स रूल. एक ही राजा नहीं, लेकिन बहुत सारे डायनास्टीज थे. जर्मनी हैड द काइसर, यूके वॉज अंडर द क्वीन एलिजाबेथ, लाइक दैट यू हैड डिफरेंट फैमिलीज देयर. So Europe was largely under king's rule. That means it was basically what? Monarchy. So when you have a monarchy, what is the advantage? राजा अगर रूल कर रहा है तो एडवांटेज क्या है? Decision making and execution is fast. Why? डिसीजन मेकिंग एंड एक्सिक्यूशन इज फास्ट मीन्स क्योंकि डिसीजन फैसला किसको लेना है? राजा ही लेगा. और एक बार जो फैसला ले लिया तो उसे एक्सिक्यूट करना है, वो काम करना ही पड़ेगा. ज्यादा नहीं हमारा हक दे दो, गिव मी माई राइट्स, नन ऑफ दिस विल बी देयर. Everybody will be like, okay, king has taken this decision, okay, we will follow it. In other words, what it means is, public opinion was less in Europe. Public opinion के लिए जगह ही नहीं था. That is the reality. Why? Because you give too much of your opinion. If king doesn't like it, king can throw you in jail. Getting the point? If that is the case, if it is a king's rule, and USA is what? USA in 1887 was a डेमोक्रेसी, जहां पर पब्लिक ओपिनियन बहुत ज्यादा था. सो व्हाट डिड वुड्रो विल्सन बेसिकली से? यूएसए में पब्लिक ओपिनियन बहुत ज्यादा है, इसके वजह से डिसीजन मेकिंग वॉज स्लो. जाहिर है, because when you are trying to implement anything and something new you are trying to implement, there will be 1,000 opinions coming in. So each and every time you'll try to change, try to accommodate different आवाज and different शर्तें, different इरादे, everything. What happens? It will take time. So what he was telling was, यूरोप का कल्चर जो है, जहां तक पब्लिक ओपिनियन से जुड़े हुए कल्चर जो है, वो यूएसए में भी लाना चाहिए. मतलब क्या है? पब्लिक ओपिनियन को कम कर दो. इन यूएस दे ऑल्सो शुड रिड्यूस पब्लिक ओपिनियन. दैट इज वॉट ही टोल्ड. लेट अस फॉलो यूरोप. लुक एट यूरोप. यूरोप कैसे काम कर रहा है? हमारे यहां काम ही नहीं हो रहा है पब्लिक ओपिनियन की वजह से. गेटिंग द पॉइंट हियर? एनी डाउट सो फार? So, basically, the next question is, Woodrow Wilson told, learn from Europe. Yes, all this is thinking of Wilson. Woodrow Wilson told, learn from Europe. See, Dhrutilata, that is the point here. Why he talked like that, talked like this. आज वो सवाल पूछकर कोई फायदा नहीं मिलने वाला. Because Woodrow Wilson is also no more alive. So why he said it like that? That is why he told that public opinion is more. What is the problem? We will see that now. He basically told, first thing, learn from Europe. So learning from Europe he meant. But today's sense, it simply means, my question to you all is it okay? One, is it okay to learn from another state? Two, to learn from another country regarding public administration या फिर पब्लिक पॉलिसी. क्या ये सही है? क्या ये हम कर सकते हैं? Can you give me an example of something that one state learned from another state? That is, in India, one state learned from another state. Can you give me an example of one scheme or one program or anything like that? Yes, sir, but depending upon suitability, I'll agree. But can you give me an example? So I will tell you one is the midday meal scheme. Now, midday meal scheme basically originated in the state of Tamil Nadu. Very good, Drudilada. That originated from Tamil Nadu, and that later we made it a whole national level scheme. Clear? The second one, is it okay to learn from another country? Now, borrowing the, what is it? Equality, fraternity, very good. Cleanliness from indoor, very good. Who was that? Pooja. GST from Canada, good. Equality, fraternity, liberty from France. That is constitutional ideal which we borrowed. Scheme wise, etc. When we see, US has social security number. We have a little more better version than that in India. That is Aadhaar. That is, he told, learn from Europe what matters of administration. Look how they are handling things. Why can't we do the same thing here? That means he started the whole thing about comparative public administration. 1887 में he gave the idea of comparative public administration. He didn't give the word, but that idea came कि कंपेयर करो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन दो मुल्कों का, व्हाट इज बेस्ट वो ले लो and implement it. This idea he gave in 1887. He never used the word comparative public administration, but if you actually look at what he has done there, यूरोप देखो, यूएसए देखो, यूरोप में पब्लिक ओपिनियन कम है, उनका काम करने का तरीका जो है, सीख लो. Learn from Europe how they have reduced public opinion and how they are working there, implement it. By default, even he also wouldn't have known it. What he did is he literally started the whole process of comparing administrative practices. जो बेहतरीन है उठा दो, डाल दो. Getting the point? So in this also he told one thing. जो भी यूरोप में है, don't directly what bring it to USA. डायरेक्टली उसे इंप्लीमेंट मत करो. उल्टा क्या करना चाहिए? Instead, make it pass through a cultural filtering lens. Whatever is there in Europe, don't take it and implement it. Because यूरोप में राजा का रूल है, यूएसए में डेमोक्रेसी है. तो यूएस के डेमोक्रेसी के लिए क्या सही रहेगा, उसके हिसाब से जो भी आइडियाज आप यहां से उठा रहे हैं, थोड़ा चेंजेस लगाकर पुट इट इन यूएसए. यूएस सोशल security number, which is just like our Aadhaar card number only. It only has what? It only gives number, the name, person's name, etc. Whereas our Aadhaar, if you take, what have we done? We have included retinal scan in it. We have included fingerprint scan in it. Aadhaar is linked to our bank account. It is linked to our mobile number. It is linked to our PAN card. It is even going to be linked to anything, every property that we buy, both movable and immovable. So everything is going to be linked with Aadhaar. That level of coverage is not there when it comes to US social security number. Clear, people? Correct, Pooja? Correct. Now, this was told even by Lipika also. That is, yes, sir, but depending upon suitability. That is important. कि यूरोप के आइडियाज यूएसए में सूटेबल है क्या? हाँ है. तो फिर उसके अंदर क्या बदलाव लाना चाहिए? बदलाव लाओ, इंप्लीमेंट करो. यूएस सोशल सिक्योरिटी नंबर कैन इट बी इंप्लीमेंटेड इन इंडिया? यस, बट थोड़ा बदलाव लाना चाहिए. बदलाव लाओ, इंप्लीमेंटेड इट एज आधार. तमिलनाडु मिड डे मील स्कीम, क्या यह सही रहेगा पूरे इंडिया के लिए? डेफिनेटली यस, इंप्लीमेंट करो हर जगह. इंडोर के क्लेनलीनेस, what is indoor doing correctly, which other cities are not doing? Ask others also to do, follow the policies which indoor is doing. All these are what? Comparative public administration. विल्सन को यह मालूम भी नहीं था उस वक्त कि ही इज क्रिएटिंग समथिंग वेरी यूनिक. खुद को मालूम नहीं था. गेटिंग द पिक्चर हियर? एनी डाउट्स? Correct, Pooja. Friendly, more than friendly competition, the correct word for that is, you will be studying it in your polity GS paper too. The correct word for that is competitive federalism, where states will compete with each other in delivering goods and service in a better fashion to the people. Clear? This is the idea. Taking it further forward, Woodrow Wilson, administration and government. Woodrow Wilson advocated for government reform in administration, emphasizing efficiency and cost effectiveness. एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में बदलाव लाओ ताकि थिंग्स विल बिकम एफिशिएंट एंड कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव. कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव मीन्स खर्च कम करवा दो. हाउ? डेफिनेटली when I am choosing people based on merit. Merit के हिसाब से when I am selecting people, they will not be worried about कौन सा politician है, क्या है. They'll be like, I am here to do my work. I will do my work efficiently. Merit say when you select people, that is the advantage. They will do their work properly. So this can be achieved through what? Reform in administration. How? Through merit. He sought to move beyond chaotic methods to establish stable, principled approach to executive function. Chaotic methods means confusion. Confusion क्यों? Why confusion? The reason was because, like I told you, execution का काम जो था, this was left to clerks, where people thought clerk का काम है रे, don't waste your time, दिमाग की जरूरत नहीं है, कोई भी कर सकता है execution. This was the belief that time. और ये क्लर्क कौन थे? Clerks were basically political appointments. So because of this, what happened? Clerks never did their job properly. So as a result of this, clerks के वजह से क्या हो रहा था? Efficiency बोल दो, efficiency, economy, effectiveness. All of this were what? very less. That is why he was telling, let us bring reform first. अगर पूरा एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इफेक्टिव होना चाहिए, इकोनॉमिकल होना चाहिए, एफिशिएंट होना चाहिए, मेरिट लाओ पहले. Administration was the visible and action oriented aspect of government. सच्ची बात है, like I always tell you, law and order हो, अच्छे roads हो, etc. हो, these are the visible part of the government. And administration, just like infrastructure, is a visible part. Political scientists focused on who who should make laws, viewing the how as a clerical concern. Matlab, political scientists also were only thinking about who, not how to implement policies. That is, I had already told you back then, we had political science, and then below under political science only as a sub unit you had what? PubAd. Political scientists were largely worried about who should make the laws. Should it be democracy? Should it be monarchy? Should it be this? Should it be that? All that they were concerned with. They were only thinking it from a polity angle. Only one person was thinking, we should think about what? We should think about how are we going to implement the policies. That was Woodrow Wilson. So Woodrow Wilson के जमाने में पॉलिटिकल साइंटिस्ट का फुल फोकस किस चीज पर था? हु शुड रन द गवर्नमेंट? राजा या प्रजा या उसके बीच का कोई काउंसिल? कैसे करना है? दिस वॉज देयर फोकस. और पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का क्या था? पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का फोकस था, पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन कौन करोगे? क्लर्क्स. This was the idea. And what did Woodrow Wilson suggest? Woodrow Wilson suggested keep PubAd as a separate discipline, and through merit, whoever is selected, only through them PubAd should be implemented. मेरिट के जरिए जिनको चुन लिया है, that is just like your UPSC civil service exam, just like that, who has cleared the exam by merit, only they should be part of what? Administration. And only he was concerned about how. Political scientists were concerned only about who. Any questions, people? So this sentence here I have explained the meaning of it. The meaning of political scientists focused on who should make laws, viewing the how as a clerical concern. Means implementation or execution was not paid much interest during Woodrow Wilson's time. Pranav, just listen to it now first. Finish the topic first. Don't jump the gun. Just be a little patient. What type of questions can come means just go through the question paper. Any type of question can come. Please understand, this is UPSC optional. Any question can come from here. So understand the theory first properly. Means implementation or execution was not paid much interest. They did not bother about it that time. And that is where Woodrow Wilson is, again, we are considering him to be a pioneer. Because in a zamana where nobody was giving any interest to administration, he gave. Okay. Before the 19th century, administrative complexities were minimal and government functions were straightforward. Why? Less industries, less manufacturing units, small businesses, small trade. So things were very simple. So that zamane mein, in this zamane mein, if things were more clerical, it was okay. It was perfect. By the 19th century, growing complexities in trade, the rise of large corporations, and personal management challenges made government functions more complex. Because this was the time period of your imperialism plus industrial revolution, that is steam engine. All of this had come. So automatically what happened? Work became more and more difficult and complex. So now implementation couldn't be left to the clerks. You needed a specific set of people, well trained, selected on the basis of merit, who will do this job properly. Clear? So as the economical progress kept on happening, administration requirements started increasing. Meaning of imperialism. You have not heard of this word in your school also. Imperialism simply means it is a combination of capitalism plus colonialism. All right. Woodrow Wilson advocated for the science of administration. The science of administration, viewing it as a product of political study, and noted the lack of clear standards for good administration in America. So, he wanted to bring a science of administration, viewing it as a product of political study, and noted the lack of clear standards for good administration. Why there were poor standards here? Poor standards because political appointments. One reason was political appointments. The other one was what? Clerks. Then no merit. Any doubts still here? Correct? Administrative science. Now he said we need a science of administration. Let us see. The science of administration originated in Europe through German and French scholars. European governments operated with less popular assent. Less popular assent means less popular assent means less public opinion, leading to more centralized governance. Now, what do you mean by centralized governance? Centralized governance, in simple terms, it means all decisions takes place. There is one single decision making power at the top. When we say centralized decision making, it simply means all decisions are taken at the top and it is just passed to the bottom. It will not ready, it will generally, it will not take any suggestions coming from down. It will all happen at the top, it will go down. That is centralized decision making. A very good current example of this, if you ask me, will be NDC, PC, states. Can anybody tell me what is NDC and PC? NDC was your National Development Council. PC was your Planning Commission. So, NDC, you will have all the chief ministers, prime minister, etc. Everybody will be present. But even then, almost all the decisions were what? Decided at the top, passed down to the states. This was the idea. Decided at the top, passed down to the states. Can states give any feedback, suggestions? Little they can give, but largely nothing doing. Whatever planning commission will decide, whatever NDC will decide, that was just passed down to the bottom. That is centralized decision making. That is the reason why we don't have this body anymore today. Instead, we have today what? Niti Ayog. Getting the point? Centralized decision making means one individual or one organization making all the decisions at the top for the bodies down below with very less feedback. Same thing with NDC, PC and states. Any questions here, people? Wilson argued that adapting European administrative science to other countries, including America, necessitated significant changes in aims and principles. So what he meant is, so what he said, if you are implementing European ideas in USA, we'll have to bring a lot of changes. The delay in adopting this science in America was due to its focus on popular sovereignty. That is, why are we taking time in implementing European practices in USA? That is because of popular sovereignty. Popular sovereignty means sovereignty, sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic. These 5 words are there in our preamble. Sovereign means India is not under anybody. India is not under any country or under any organization. India is completely independent. That is what sovereign means. And when you say popular sovereignty means what? Public is the king. Public is the king, which simply means, again, more public opinion. So we are not able to implement anything from Europe because of more public opinion. Then Wilson argued that organizing administration and democracy is more challenging than in a monarchy because it must respond to public opinion. True. Somebody already mentioned here, single party in China still persistent, etc. Chinese example you people all gave. It is very true. In China, once a decision is made, it will get implemented. China decided to ban Facebook. China has Chinese version of Facebook there. China decided to ban WhatsApp. Instead, they have Chinese government versions of WhatsApp there. China even banned TikTok. TikTok is also not allowed there. Getting the point here. So, they have ensured. So, all this they did. They were able to do this just like that. They made a decision today, okay, we are banning Facebook. Okay, we are banning this thing. We are banning that thing. They did it and they implemented it also. Why? No public opinion. In China, it is very difficult to actually criticize the government. Getting the idea? It is actually difficult to criticize the government. Government will decide, it will happen. Whereas in India, even if we try to ban one thing here, Even if we try to ban, okay, let us ban TikTok, there were people again who were telling banning TikTok is not a nice thing, we have this problem, that this, etc., some bizarre reasons they were giving. So the problem in India is that anything you try to do, immediately public opinion will come. Oh, this is not right, this is not right. Getting the picture here? If we decide, okay, we are not going to what is that, play with Pakistan, immediately people will say no, we should improve the relationship. So for everything there is an opinion here in India, as a result of which what happens, anything you try to do, it will always not happen smoothly. Some or the other issue will be there. Getting the point? So that is what he clearly told here. Organizing administration and democracy is very, very difficult than in a monarchy because it must respond to public opinion. Moving forward, he believed that when public opinion, multitudinous monarch dictates governance, administrative reforms are slow due to its necessary compromises. Now, what do you mean by multitudinous monarch? Multitudinous means multiple kings. That is what it's. Multiple kings. That is. So in China, basically, everything at the top is decided by the Communist Party of China. They will decide everything, others will have to follow it. Let us come to India. So in India, what is the comedy? Let us take with regard to farm bills. So in farm bills also, if you see, you have media. Some are supporting, some are opposing. Then farmers, more than let us say 99% were against it. Politicians, again divided 50-50. Economists again divided 50-50. You take each one of this now. Whose opinion will you take? You cannot ignore the media, because if you ignore the media, that's it. That will cause another set of troubles for the government. You cannot ignore the opposition. That will create another issue. You cannot ignore the economists who are telling what are the pros and cons with the farm bills, because they are giving their expert opinion. You cannot ignore that. Then the farmers, definitely you cannot touch them. So whom will you give more importance? Whom will you give less importance? In that pura chakkar mein, finally what did we do? Government basically took a complete U-turn in the case of farm bills. They basically decided to take it back. This decision, you will never find it in Communist Party of China, because if they decide to do something, it will be done. Why? Nobody cares about your opinion in China. Nobody cares about your human rights also in China. I have decided, now I will implement it. You shut up and listen. This is the attitude in China. Getting the point here? This is the idea of what is a multitudinous monarch. Everybody is a king here. Everybody is a king. The list is very small. You can throw in citizens here. Multiple people you can throw. But point you understand, right? Here we have to consult so many people. China doesn't have to do that. That is why China, if they decide today, we will construct a road tomorrow there, it will happen tomorrow only. India, if they decide to do something, today they may decide that road will come maybe only after 30-40 years. Clear, people? Any doubt? Next, he suggested that constant constitutional changes hinder a nation's ability to focus on effective administration. True, right? Each and every time we are focusing on how should the law be, how should the law be, rather than that, अरे यार कानून ढंग से तो implement करो, implementation ढंग से करो. We always keep telling, right? That is, I'll give you an example for this also. Rape laws, we should make more stricter laws, more stricter laws. The law is strict. The law is really, really strict. Where is the issue lying? Issue is lying in investigation. Issue is lying in the investigative procedure. 2. Number 3, court. Police, even if they do their job, you take it to court. Court will take another 5, 6, 7, maybe even 10 years to give a verdict. So, again and again, people will say, no, no, we should make the law strict. No point in making the law strict if the court is delaying things. Getting the point? If the cops are still conducting the investigation in some very age-old technique rather than not using what scientific methods. So that is why Wilson told the focus is only on the constitution and you're not focusing on administration. He defined public administration as a detailed and systematic execution of public law, emphasizing that execution of plans for government action is administrative. It is more difficult to run a constitution than frame one. Execution of plans for government action is administrative. Simply means what? What you people are going to do. Central government may decide something or state government may decide something. Ultimately, who is going to execute it, implement it? IAS and IPS officers. Clear? Number two, it is more difficult to run a constitution than frame one. Can anybody tell me what is the meaning of the sentence? It is more difficult to run a constitution than frame one. Public opinion simply means it is easier to make laws than to implement it or execute it. Very good, Prince. Framing is easier, actual implementation is complex. Very good, Lipika. So that is the point. You can make any law. Like very recently now, we have also replaced what Indian Penal Code, CRPC, etc. has been replaced with Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. Fine. We brought this new law. After bringing this law, only one incident took place in Pune where a 17-year-old took his father's Porsche car. Two and a half, not his father's Porsche car, his car only. Father has given as gift 2.5 crore car to a 16, 17-year-old kid who took alcohol, took the car, killed two people. And what was the punishment given to him? Write an essay on safety. That was the punishment given. Now, whose job it was to ensure that proper implementation takes place? Police, the court, did they do it? Government did everything. Government updated the law. We were always telling them, see, IPC, CRPC, British created this. We need our laws for our culture, our country, according to the modern times. We kept on telling, government listen, government is like, okay, ले लो भैया, नया कानून लाया. लाने के बाद क्या हो रहा है? वही घिसा पिटा हुआ चीजें. The same nonsense only. Police trying to protect the rich, judiciary trying to protect the rich. अब उस केस का भी क्या हुआ भगवान जाने. Getting the picture here. So you can, it is easy. न्याय संहिता. Okay, let us make a new law. में बना दिया. Implementation का क्या? पूरा वाट लगा दी. Getting the picture here. This is what is happening. So any law we can make, it is very easy, but the implementation part is really tough. Clear? Moving on. Politics and administration. While trying to carve out a field for public administration, Wilson was aware of the interdependence between the field of politics and administration. Administration law is outside the sphere of politics. Administrative questions are not political questions. Politics is the special province of the statesman, while administration is of the technical official. What does this mean? These three sentences were given by Wilson. So, the point here, what we are going to stress is Wilson was aware that politics and administration they have a certain overlap. Simply means in Indian context only, let us see MPs, MLAs, and any other political leader. My first question is MPs, MLAs, political leaders, will they interfere with the administration of IAS, IPS officers? Yes or no? Yes, they will definitely interfere. Nobody is having any doubt on it. Now tell me, is this interference good or bad? Is this interference good or bad? How both, Nadeem? How it is both? Again, Lipika, how? Example. Depend upon interest. Whose interest? Why bad? Puja. Which matter? So MPs, MLAs, political leaders interfering with IAS. I will tell you when it is good. This is good when good. Why? Because it will bring accountability. See, IAS, IPS officers, they are not political appointments. They are not political appointments. They are people who have wrote the exam and come. They don't have to answer to whom? They don't have to answer to public. MPs, MLAs have to answer to public. If IAS, IPS officers are not kept under control, they will do whatever they want. So yes, it is good because it will bring accountability. Because MPs, MLAs are ultimately who are these people? Ministers, correct? Chief Minister is also an MLA. Prime Minister is also an MP. So it is good because it will bring accountability. Bad when it is bad. It is bad when they interfere in day to day administration. For every small thing, they'll keep interfering in your decision making authority. They'll call you and tell, release this fellow, sign that document, do this, do that, all of it. So, whenever they interfere in day to day administration, it is a headache. Remember this now only. Best example for this is now an example of an organization that has collapsed or that has on the verge of collapse because of this constant political interference is PSU, public sector unit. So whichever public sector units were there in our country, they were suffering a lot because of political interference every day. Now what? That is why government also decided what? We are closing it off or we'll sell it to private player so that no more interference. Getting the picture? Remember this because this example we'll be discussing in detail in the third chapter of paper 2. Whatever examples I am giving here, including the planning commission example I gave you, they are all chapters of paper 2 of PUBAD. So I am basically what I am doing is every example that I am giving here, it is nothing but a trailer of your paper 2 syllabus. Clear? See, that is what day to day, that is what day to day administration, your transfer, your promotion, your leave, everything, if they interfere in, it will create havoc. Getting the idea? So, at the same time, this is how politics interferes with administration. But sometimes what happens, an interesting trend will also occur, which is what administration can get involved in politics. Administration can get involved in politics. How? By being political. Becoming very close to what? Becoming very close to ministers. Becoming very close to ministers. What will that lead to? Bureaucrat will end up behaving like politicians. One controversial bureaucrat like that again is Mr. Pandian, IAS, who was considered to be very close to the Odisha Chief Minister, Naveen Patnaik. Very, very, very close. So much so that he resigned from his job and joined Naveen Patnaik's political party, which is again not correct thing to do. You may join a party, there is nothing wrong with it, but when you are still in service, becoming political, getting close to a political party is not the right thing to do. So we can see today itself examples of what? How administrator is becoming political, how politicians are interfering in day-to-day administration. Getting the point? We can already see this thing. This trend is there today also. What about in 1887? Same thing. That time also the same thing was happening. Politics was interfering in administration. Administration was also interfering in politics. So Wilson knew that these two, there are certain overlapping areas are there where you will have to discuss and then take a decision. That is true. Politicians don't have subject knowledge. They only know politics. Administrators have technical knowledge. So from administrators, they will take the feedback. Based on that, they will make the policy. Correct? But what did Woodrow Wilson say? Woodrow Wilson basically told, keep politics and administration, both of this you separate it out. Political questions are political questions, administrative questions are administrative questions. Administration should not interfere with politics. Politics should not interfere with administration. This is what he told. This separation, politics separate, administration separate, he gave a He called it what? Politics, administration, dichotomy. Dichotomy simply means separation. Keep both separate from each other. That is what he told. Can we do this completely today? Politics separate, administration separate. Can we do that? Why, Prince? Why can't we do it? What is the problem? Again, why, Abhinav? Tejas, why yes? Why no, Lipika? Why no, Khyati? In your UPSC interview board also, they'll be asking the same thing. When you give yes or no, they will be asking you why. So you should be ready with an answer, people. If yes, why? If no, why? Yes, but conditionally. Again, Tejas, why? Give me example. Give me example of this. To a certain extent, we can. What certain extent? Because of democratic structure of the country, because they are very strong, but need one superior above them to manage. See, I'll tell you the point here. The basic idea here is this is not possible. To simply put, it is not possible. Why? Because from the public, administration stands very close to the public. So from public, who gets the ground level report mostly? It is the administration. They get the administration, and these administrative people, they are what? They are technically sound. Technically sound means they are perfect. Knowledge, they have good knowledge here. So that public level feedback goes to them. They will be in a better position to what? To give advice to the government. Based on the advice given by the administration, only what the politicians will do. Based on that advice only, politicians will form policies for the public. Plus, it is not that public won't give feedback to politicians. Public will give feedback to politicians also. With regard to what? With regard to administration. Politics will then impact, have to control, put the administration also under control. Getting the picture here? So if you actually see, and administration, again, through the administration only, policies are implemented, rules, etc. are implemented. So if you actually look at this, all are controlling everyone. Politics depends on administration, administration depends on politics, politics depends on public, public depends on politics, public depends on administration, administration depends on public. All are interlinked. All are interlinked. So the point is, again, like most of you have told, from situation to situation it will vary. That is, when it comes to accountability, what do we need? We need public, polity and administration should be overlapping, because politicians should have the control of administrators. But when it comes to day to day matters, it is routine things, normal routine things, transfer, promotion, salary, increment, etc. We need what? Politics and administration should be separate. Even when you become an IAS officer, every 5 minutes, if an MLA keeps on calling, oh, what are you going to do there in that particular village, in this particular district, etc., you will go mad. Getting the point? So, interference should only be there when some wrongdoing happens. When a police officer or an IPS IAS officer does something that is wrong, interfere. When everything is going right, just leave it. Don't interfere. Give them the freedom. Any doubts here, people? So, at once again now, Wilson was trying to carve out a field for public administration. While trying to carve out a field for public administration, Wilson was aware of the interdependence between the field of politics and administration. He knew that these two are interdependent. Like I already showed it to you, proved it to you. But still he went on to say, administration lies outside politics. Administrative questions are not political questions. Politics is the special province of the statesman. While administration is of the technical official. Statesman means politician. Technical official means bureaucrat, government servant. Wilson appears to have vacillated. Wilson appears to have vacillated between politics, administration, separability and inseparability. To vacillate means to keep shifting. मतलब ये है कि विल्सन खुद थोड़ा कंफ्यूज्ड थे कि क्या करना चाहिए, साथ रखूं या अलग रखूं. विल्सन को कुछ उस वक्त अंदाजा ही नहीं था ये क्या करना चाहिए. See, now we can say according to situation keep it away, when it is needed keep it together. आज हम कह सकते हैं. But in 1887 all these ideas you must understand ये बहुत नए थे. We are all exposed to technology, we have lots of new ideas, we have it. But in 1887 these things were still new, still fresh. किसी ने ऐसा सोचा भी नहीं था विल्सन के अलावा. So this was a very confusing thing even for Wilson. अरे यार साथ रखूं या दूर रखूं, क्या करना चाहिए? Even Wilson was what? Confused. Clear? According to Mosher, Wilson made the most vigorous statement on politics administration dichotomy. That is, he made the most vigorous statement. Vigorous means most, like extreme statement. Politics or administration, keep it separate. Political questions are not administrative questions. Administrative questions are not political questions. Both are totally different things. Wilson made that statement. Clear? But Riggs believed that Wilson knew that administrative development cannot take place in political vacuum. Riggs एक अलग thinker है. We'll be dealing with him later. एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव डेवलपमेंट कैनॉट टेक प्लेस इन पॉलिटिकल वैक्यूम. सही बात है. एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन खुद ब खुद कुछ नहीं कर सकते. Even civil servants also, they need political executive at the top of them to guide them, to direct them towards a particular policy implementation. Wilson's focus was to develop an administrative system that was free from political interference. ये सही बात है. An administrative system free from political interference, यानी कि जहां तक रूटीन मामलों का सवाल है, रोज का काम का सवाल है, पॉलिटिकल इंटरफेरेंस शुड नॉट बी देयर. डेवलप एन सिस्टम दैट वाज फ्री फ्रॉम पॉलिटिकल इंटरफेरेंस. आगे एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन एंड बिजनेस. For him means for Wilson, administration was business removed from the hurry and strife of politics. He felt administration being business should not involve itself in questions of politics. Wilson's argument was that public administration was synonymous with private administration. The only values therefore worth pursuing were efficiency, economy and effectiveness. That is why he had clear opinion on public opinion. अब इसका पूरा मतलब क्या है? See, so he basically told keep the two separate. Politics, administration. Dichotomy. So dichotomy is there between politics and administration. Dichotomy, keep them separate. Why? This is one thing that he told. All right. Before that, what did he tell? इसके साथ he also told another thing, which is reduce public opinion. He also told reduce public opinion. So, if you keep administration away from politics, you remove the politicians from this, means what he has said is administration is very much similar to public administration is very much similar to प्राइवेट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. पॉलिटिक्स अगर यहां से हटा दोगे तो पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन will become very similar to private administration. Number one. Number two, public opinion भी कम है. Again, it will work as what private administration. And it has the same meaning now. क्यों same meaning? क्योंकि public opinion नहीं है. Private administration generally, if you see, they don't care about public opinion. They will do whatever is maximum the profit what they will get, they will follow that only. Number one. Number two, private administration will not give any care up for politics. So ultimately, public administration will function like private administration if you keep politics out of it and public opinion out of it. Let us go back now. Administration was business removed from hurry and strife of politics. Hurry and strife of politics means the confusion, the complexities of politics. So administration was business removed from politics. Look at the diagram. Administration, if it is removed from politics, it becomes what? Business. Then he felt administration being business should not involve itself in questions of politics. True. Politics is away from this. Wilson's argument was that public administration was synonymous with private administration, had the same meaning because you have removed politics from it, you have removed public opinion from it. Then, the only values therefore worth pursuing were efficiency, economy, and effectiveness. Why these are the only good values? Because in any private administration, they will also look for only what? The three E's. That is efficiency, economy, effectiveness. So this is the aim of any private agency. They'll try for efficiency. They will try to make everything economical. They'll try to make everything effective. Private is same as public means. What does it mean? Three is the ultimate goal of public administration also. Because this is one and the same. Private's aim is 3E. So public's aim is also 3E. That is why he had clear opinion on public opinion. And what was that clear opinion? Reduce it. So once again, if you separate public opinion and politics from public administration, it will become similar to private. Private administration or business administration's goals are efficiency, economy, effectiveness. Both of this has the same meaning. Therefore, this is the same goal of public administration. This is the opinion of Woodrow Wilson. We don't agree with it completely, mind you. This is what he has said. Any doubt so far? Now, moving to public opinion. Wilson felt public opinion took the place of an authoritative critic. Authoritative critic का मतलब है मुझे सब मालूम है. I will give comment on everything. I know everything what is right. That is what authoritative critic का मतलब है. That is as if public knows everything, the answer to everything, all the problems, all the solutions, public knew it. So he's criticizing public here. He wanted public opinion to be efficient without being meddlesome. यानी कि जेन्युइन चीजों के लिए यू गिव योर ओपिनियन. हर बात पर मुझे मेरा हक चाहिए, आंदोलन, दिस दैट, व्हाट इज द पॉइंट? Whatever is good, accept it. Whatever is bad, criticize it. That is what you call being efficient. But जो भी चीज ला रहा है उन सबको सबके खिलाफ you are going on giving your opinion means what will happen? It will become meddlesome. Meddlesome means what? Constantly interfering. Even though it is a clumsy nuisance, as a superintending policy, it is beneficial and indispensable. Even though it is a clumsy nuisance, that is public opinion. It here simply means public opinion. Clumsy nuisance. Clumsy way, it does not have any shape or form. We never know which opinion will hurt whom. Who will criticize what? Who will say what? You never know. And it's a nuisance. Why? Because it constantly keeps bothering you. As the superintending policy means government will make a policy, उसके ऊपर उससे भी बड़ा policy. जैसे कि government came with 3 farm bills. Government asked the farmers, what is the दिक्कत क्या है इस बिल में? कौन से प्रोविजन के साथ आपका प्रॉब्लम है? Farmers were not even ready to discuss a single provision. First thing, there 2 conditions were there. पूरा का पूरा फार्म बिल्स हटा दो, एमएसपी को लीगल, एमएसपी को लॉ बना दो. दैट इज लीगल गारंटी. दैट इज बाय लॉ, मेक अ लॉ वेयर गवर्नमेंट हैज टू गिव मिनिमम सपोर्ट प्राइस. गवर्नमेंट क्या लेकर आए थे? फार्म बिल. फार्मर लोग क्या कह रहे हैं? एमएसपी लॉ. That is as if government doesn't know what policy is to be made. Getting the point here? Government के भी ऊपर आकर policy बता रहे हैं government से कि भाई मुझे ये policy चाहिए. That is what is the problem with public opinion. Administrative studies should focus on the best means of giving public opinion the control, but shut it from interfering in administration. Same thing. Just like how you should keep politics away from administration in routine matters, similarly, public opinion भी दूर रखना चाहिए. Important matters के लिए we can use it, but unimportant चीजों के लिए why you need public opinion? It will only affect what the efficiency of administration. So दूर रखिए ये चीज. This is what Woodrow Wilson told. Any doubts here? Yeah, people. Civil service. Wilson strongly advocated for a technically schooled civil service. Technically schooled means properly trained, just like today's UPSC. To organize democracy, a civil service based on merit was necessary. Very, very true. UPSC ले लो, SPSC, State Public Service Commission, SSC. All these are examples of what? Merit based civil service. He was against the creation of bureaucratic elite that was not subject to democratic control. Bureaucratic elite means सबसे senior bureaucrats who are not under the control of politicians. That he did not like. He wanted what? Political control के अंदर ही होना चाहिए. कौन? Bureaucrats. Because you must understand, bureaucrats are not answerable to public. And these people are trained, technically trained. So they know the law, they know the loopholes. So how else are you going to control them? There is no other way. So the best way is what? Keep them below the politicians, not above them, not equal to them. Wilson was a strong critic of the spoil system that was prevailing in the USA at that point of time. He felt civil service reform was only a prelude to a fuller administrative reform. Prelude means अगर इस सेंटेंस का मतलब I'm telling you, if you want administrative changes, bring changes in the civil service. Bring civil servants who are on the basis of merit, not on the basis of spoil system. Once you do that, once you bring that reform there, your administration will automatically become proper. The civil service was supposed to be unpartisan, and this made the administration business-like. Unpartisan means you're not belonging to any political party. And when you are staying away from political party, he wanted the reforms in the methods of appointment to be extended to executive functions and to the methods of executive organization and actions. Means merit-based appointment that is there, that merit should be brought in executive functions, एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एंड एक्शंस, सब जो भी काम आप कर रहे हो, everything should be on the basis only of merit. Wilson, as Nicholas Henry observed, facilitated the expansion of an ethical sense of public duty. An ethical sense of public duty beyond the conceptual confines of the civil services and into the entire intellectual terrain of public administration. That means, for the first time, somebody even introduced ethics in administration, means that was also Woodrow Wilson. Clear, people? So, that is the point here. Any queries? Any queries, people? Let me know. Any queries is there? Let me know. And let us call it a day today. We'll take it a little slow because it's just your second class. Slowly, I will be increasing the tempo of this because this is still a new topic. Many of you should get used to this. What is this thinker and all that? So, any issues are there, let me know in the Telegram channel. All right? So, let's call it a day. He wanted the reforms in the methods of appointment to be extended to executive functions and to the methods of executive organization and actions. Means merit based appointment that is there, that merit should be brought in executive functions, executive organization and actions. सब जो भी काम आप कर रहे हो, everything should be on the basis only of merit. Wilson, as Nicholas Henry observed, facilitated the expansion of an ethical sense of public duty. An ethical sense of public duty beyond the conceptual confines of the civil services and into the entire intellectual terrain of public administration. That means, for the first time, somebody even introduced ethics in administration, means that was also Woodrow Wilson. Clear, people? So, that is the point here. Any queries? Any queries, people? Let me know. Any queries is there? Let me know. And let us call it a day today. We'll take it a little slow because it's just your second class. Slowly, I will be increasing the tempo of this because this is still a new topic. Many of you should get used to this. What is this thinker and all that? So, any issues are there, let me know in the Telegram channel. All right? So, let's call it a day.